The galaxy is burning. Brother fights brother, and treason splits the Imperium of man. This is the Age of Darkness. Welcome to the Remembrancers retreat, coming to you from within the depths of the Vengeful Spirit.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Remembrancers Retreat, a Warhammer 30k Horus Heresy Specialist Games podcast, going into its fourth year.
That's neat.
Right? An almost weekly podcast going into fourth year.
Yeah.
We're not even professionals.
No. And
people
I still remember how this all started. Yeah, that's another thing, right? It's not just our
nine
friends.
of us all calling in on our phones.
Yeah.
Through Discord.
And yeah, I mean, it is good to know that there are listeners out there, and it's not just us holding our families at gunpoint telling them to download it, you know?
Oh, wait, you don't?
Oh, I mean, I have secretly added the app onto every one of my family members' phones and then, you know, have it auto-subscribe to us. So, yeah, you know.
All of our grandparents are just giving us $7 a month on PayPal.
Yeah. It's... Is that taking advantage of the elderly? Maybe. But I also put up with, you know, the Thanksgiving nonsense. So I think I've earned that $7 a month.
It does make me feel old in that, you know, we're 4 years on, and I remember when we were starting and Henry was born and we were doing a recording and he was on my chest and we were all mic'd up and he just started screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of like mid-sentence.
Yeah.
And now he's almost 4.
Jesus.
And can do that whenever he wants now.
He does
immediately,
constantly.
Now you drive from home
just
to get
wait.
in and record.
But yeah, I just remember sitting around. We were sitting at billiards, and you know, Dave was like, "Why don't we have a podcast?"
We're like, because that sounds like a lot of work, Dave.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all that work. And Jesse was like, I guess we could try something. Let's figure something out. Yeah,
Do something. Everybody
and
just
so what was it like? Discord is what we started with,
Discord.
and you know, Craig, whatever that recording bot was. Do you remember how many weeks it took us to find a decent recording suite to start?
I still wouldn't even call it decent.
By us, you mean Jesse.
Yeah. Well, no, I remember him and I were butting, or not butting heads, but him and I were both, you know, racking our brains trying to figure out how to get Audacity to work.
Oh, yeah.
Because we tried Audacity, and then you finally found Craig, and we were like, this is the holy grail. This is as good as it's ever going to be, man.
right?
And we were wrong. It gets better.
We were young and naive.
If you have a Jesse on your team who wants to take on a second hobby.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Basically a second job.
Yeah.
And people who were like, hey, I kind of like listening to these idiots talk.
We can't be bought, though. We can't be bought.
We can absolutely
but
be bought.
Our topics can be bought. So, you know.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It has. I
What a ride.
From very humble beginnings to more humbling.
God, half of this podcast has been through a goddamn pandemic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think for a while it was some of the only contact we had was making sure that we recorded these things.
Yeah, we were
To make sure we were still talking to other human beings and not just, you know.
Yeah, we're churning out 2 or 3 episodes a week at one point.
It was good for content.
And then we also hosted like the gaming event. When we thought it was just going to be 2 weeks lockdown, we were like, let's all play Space Marine, man.
Yeah, we played it once. We need to do that again.
We absolutely
Keep saying it. We'll do it eventually.
God.
Yeah. Mike had the fucking right idea by downloading somebody else's pre-save and then having everything fucking unlocked to begin with. And we were like, Mike, how'd you get that armor, man? He's like, oh, I just fucking found it on the internet, man. And, he's like, I just downloaded it, dude. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, just Google it. And I was like, I ain't got time for that, but you do look pretty fucking sick right now. You're the coolest looking one amongst us.
Power.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that was so much fun. What was it? I want to say like 12 of us. We had a full lobby.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was great.
But we definitely have done some good stuff. We've held some good events. We've done some good charity stuff.
Live shows at Nova.
Live shows at Nova.
Dude, I tell you what, that first time that we did a live show at Nova, I was freaking the fuck out.
Oh, I was
like,
there. I was.
Guys, I just bought random audio equipment crap, not knowing what the hell stuff was working.
We'll do it live.
Biggest thing
Recording through a Marshall stack. And
biggest thing is never record more than 4 people live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think, what was it? The last time in 2019, we did a live, and that was great because it was one of my favorite to record because everybody, we would get up to go get food or go get a drink, and then somebody would slot in
roll right back
and
in.
just be like, boom. So we had, I can't count how many people we had. We must have had at least 12 people at different times
close,
speaking
yeah.
on the cast about something. Sometimes they were heresy related or specialist games, and other times they were edited out because they were inappropriate and you guys didn't hear those. But yeah, it was good fun.
But yeah, here's to another 4 more.
Ah, yeah.
4 more for the new edition.
Oh, yeah.
that'll come out in another 4 years.
Hardywood Christmas pancakes. You know what? You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Sam Adams makes something like this. I mean, this is Hardywood, so it's automatically better. But Sam Adams does make one of these. I remember in their holiday pack, their little variety pack, there's something like it in there. They do some
I'm not
sweet
bougie
crap.
enough to diss on Sam Adams. I'll definitely drink a Sam Adams.
Oh, for sure. I remember, 2011, when I came back from the war, Ashley was like, what do you want? And I was like, just make sure there's a 12-pack of Sam Adams there. So I was drinking the dessert beer. That's what it is. I can't remember what it is, but it's a Sam Adams dessert beer that comes in the variety pack. And I'd like poured myself a fucking bubble bath and I was drinking dessert beer like that night I got home. But that's immediately, that flavor brings me back. Anyways, less sentimental. We have questions that need to be answered.
We do.
Yeah.
The people have spoken.
They
Our
have.
Discord
One person.
on Patreon channel.
Mm-hmm.
Mago Sockbert, who is also goes by Alex
what's her
to
name?
our friends.
He is Mago Sockbird.
Yeah, I like Sockbird.
And what does the good Magos ask?
Well, he says, questions for the show host. I'm really regretting my orc army purchase. I wanted something different. I've only ever played Imperial armies, but it's just not working for me. I'm struggling just with the idea of low ballistic skill, low save, chaotic kind of gameplay. How long do you give an army you're struggling to enjoy before you give it the knife? To ensure it isn't just a blue badge.
Blue patch.
Blue patch? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a
my
length
old
of
man
time where you
glasses.
have blue balls, I think.
The 30 minutes after. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you sell or put on the shelf to see if you'll like them in the future? How do you try and ensure that the new project clicks with you before you really invest in it? Now, hold on. This was Alex, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm really struggling, regretting my orc army purchase.
God damn it.
I wanted something different, mate, but it's just not working for me.
No. You need to turn your phone upside down as you read.
You're right.
Yeah,
I
it's just
did.
not
That's
fair,
why it
Dingo.
sounded like that. Yeah.
Alex, we love you.
And one fewer subscriber.
Sorry.
Speaking of which,
Sorry.
Alex is our longest running patron.
He is. We
Yeah.
should make that note. Yeah.
Fuck.
That's why we can do this.
He believed in us.
Yeah.
When no one else did, not even us.
Literally.
No, when we were still calling out on our phones on
Yeah.
the Discord.
When we were but a twinkle in our own eye.
Now, this is a really great question. And I have a lot of experience with this. I think you guys can all agree. For me, if I'm struggling with something, it gets one chance. And then I move the fuck on because
and then 8 months later, he will buy the entire project over again.
let's talk
Slightly
about
different-
examples.
Let's
you
hear-
guys
hear
are,
Will
are
out.
thinking incorrectly. That is painting boredom. That is me getting tired of a paint scheme and wanting to move on. Here's a prime example. I was playing Necromunda, and I got a Vansar kill team, and I painted them up, and I played one game, and I got my ass handed to me, and I said, that's it, I'm done. That Vansar game did not go well.
I'm
and
so
I immediately
sorry.
got rid of them.
You asshole, Jared.
Twice. I've gotten
That's
two
two
people
different- I know.
out of Necromunda, and I feel terrible
You're
for
a
it.
fucking monster.
I am a monster.
So then, I want to say 6 months go by. Necromunda rolls around again, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try again, and I do up a little Tau Force, and I lose that game, and I'm out of it.
He
again.
played me a second time.
Yeah.
Again, Will, I'm so sorry.
Let's see. Another time.
Jared, you make me tired.
It's not just army projects. It is sometimes just units. If I don't like the way a unit plays, like I one time brought in a Cerastus Ram, and it was full of Terminators. And as soon as they came in, they were shot down again. Who did that, Jared?
I don't want to talk about it.
So really,
Anyways.
Really, it's just every time
Jared's just a terrible person to play games with.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is just...
But the Terminator, the Cerastus Ram, after, I had built it and painted it, I read the rules, played it, and it did not play anything like I had envisioned in my mind, right?
It's new paint.
We've discussed that in the past, too, in one of our earlier episodes, that it was bad. So I got rid of it. And, I was like, you know what? Well, I might as well get rid of the whole point of the Terminators was that they were going to go in there because they're not bulky at that point. So I sold them with the Cerastus. So yeah, for me personally, if I have a bad enough experience with something, I will chop it immediately. And that is just me. And that may be a little too brash or harsh or too quick to react. Maybe you need more time. But on the other coin is there are games that I'll play like Adeptus Titanicus, where I'll play that the first time and get absolutely stomped, but the gameplay was so much fun, and even though I didn't have the optimal build or anything like that, it was something I immediately latched onto. So for me, it's usually the first experience I feel like I can gauge how much I'm going to like something.
Okay. He's really good at Titanicus and beat my ass last time.
So your advice to Alex would be
chunky get orcs. Fucking rid of them, okay? If you don't immediately love it, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, okay? Straight up. If you're not playing it and you immediately are like, hell yes, I love the way these dudes play. I played Mechanicum for the first time. Fucking loved it. I loved the way the little Thalax could jump, shoot, jump, the mobility, the durability, but the low armor saves all came together, and I absolutely loved it. So it was a hell yeah. And then there are armies that are just a hell no. And if it's a hell no and you're just not vibing with it, don't let it sit on the shelf and stare at you in the face. Fucking recycle that thing and get something you actually will like.
So hell no, let it go.
Yeah, thank you. That's very good.
I will take the opposite.
I also have the opposite, but you go ahead.
The opposite thing here, for the most part. So for me, when I start a project, it's normally something. Well, there's two ways, right? There's two ways everybody starts a project. Either you've thought about it for a long time and you've mapped everything out, and you're super stoked for it, and you go all in, and it's exciting. Or it's, oh man, hey Will, you were just talking about Iron Hands that other day. Man, I found this great Iron Hands army at Battlegrounds. I just bought them all. Fuck. Right?
Yeah.
But what I do when I'm doing a project, and for whatever reason it doesn't speak to me as much as it did when I started like building it or painting it, or like I honestly haven't had a lot of problems once I've actually started gaming with an army. Once I start gaming with it, then I can kind of, there's always a way for me to enjoy it. And not just one of those like, oh, well, you can enjoy not winning. Because obviously you can, but obviously winning is better. That's why we have winners in games.
Right? Yes.
It's still a competitive game.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like
science.
As narrative as you play it, right?
I mean, you go to a tennis court and you could play.
Yeah, you can play to have both to have fun and to win.
But you also, you could choose to tie your legs together and play tennis, or
you can. And I've done that before from a wargaming perspective.
Yeah.
God, I had a guard army back in the day that I built purely for the joy of doing the army, and it was all the worst units doing all the worst. I had 2 units of Rough Riders, for God's sake. And I realized that the joy of that army wasn't winning per se. It was just confounding my opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
it was for the troll.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to be op for, man. You just you got to be the bad guy going in saying, you know what, man, I'm not going to win this game, but I'm going to embarrass you.
And I'm going to make this 2 units of Rough Riders basically a meme.
And I did. But the thing of it is, like that, and what I found is, if you have one of those armies that like you really enjoyed building and painting, but they suck to play,
Sure.
if you keep playing them, just by force of habit, you will get good with them. And then you'll start embarrassing people via actually winning. Like I won a tournament with that game, with that army, like a local, 12-man tournament, like one super crazy.
Austin's an OP tournament player. That's we heard it here first.
Right.
Whack.
But I won one of my games. I was playing some fucking Dark Eldar army that my buddy had. And it was Venom spam and the whole, as OP as it could be, and Dark Eldar were also good at the time.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. many, many moons. The tanks had armor values and everything. It was crazy. But I won with 3 models on the table at the end of the game. And I think I'd removed 6 of his. And I was just like, fuck yes. This is amazing. Because I'd played that same shitty army for the lulz for a year and a half when everybody else was kind of, cycling through units and models and all this other stuff. Because I was too poor to buy new models. I was stuck.
You were poor, but you spent money on Rough Riders. Just so we're all following.
Converted Rough Riders. Yeah, it was delightful. But when an army doesn't speak to me as I'm building it or painting it, I've discovered getting kind of into it from a fluff perspective helps. I bought some vampires. I got real excited. My Warhammer army project, Undead Army. They're super cool. I love them to death. There were no fucking Blood Knights. Just GW, nobody was selling them.
Right, because they were all sold out. Yeah,
they were all sold out for 8 months, something crazy. And it just killed my desire to continue painting the army because my general needed some of those bits and the vampire kind of have my big hammer unit. And so I set them aside knowing I was going to go back to them because I was just waiting for the models to come in. But when they did arrive, I was just kind of kind of the joy of a new army is worn off and I'm sitting and looking at a million skeletons. And I was like, you know what will get me back into it? I'm going to buy the Vampire Counts omnibus. I'm going to read some Vampire Counts fluff, get me back excited about it, right? For, God help us, knock on wood, when the new edition of 30K rolls around, I got that limited edition Space Wolf novel that came out.
Yeah.
It's unread. It's sitting in my house and I'm just waiting to crack it for when it comes time to paint another 60 Space Wolves. Right? Stuff like that gets me into it. And if that doesn't do it, and it normally takes a couple of rounds of that, right? I'll do, oh, hey man, I'm getting myself psyched up. I'm going back into it. I'm doing it. And I painted 5 models. All right, he'll sit on the shelf. And 6 months later, they come out.
I don't have the space for that, man.
Yeah.
See,
I can't do it. Yeah.
But I still,
and I don't want the backlog.
My inner soul though is still that 13-year-old kid who was getting $10 an hour working at a fucking horse farm and not I could buy a unit a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just couldn't make mistakes. You just had to enjoy whatever you bought because that's what you got.
Sure.
And even though I could very easily, I didn't have my local didn't buy used models. So there was no, Battlegrounds has a great turnaround, right? You can just give them back something back. So I was just stuck with it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of stuck with my hobby of just no, make it work. Or when I tried doing other Space Marine armies, I can't. I've discovered I can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
But every time I tried to make it work, trying to make it work. And when I finally give up, even then, those models just kind of get repurposed into Space Wolves rather than just straight up get rid of. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I stay the course. Don't just don't force yourself to play them. Don't force yourself to paint them because it's a hobby. You should enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But you've already got them. Unless you have absolutely no space at all, don't think of it as a backlog project. It's just something sitting there for when you're in the mood for it.
When the
right?
time comes.
It's I heard a great thing. it's actually in reference to like books, because people are like, oh, well, I bought all these books, but I haven't read any of them. Like, I feel like a bad person. So I want to buy more books, but there's books I haven't read already. And I'm like, no. Hobby can be like owning wine, right? Like you get a nice bottle of wine, right? Like like your fucking parents or whatever that has an actual like wine cellar with like good wine in it.
Will buys big jug wine.
I mean, I buy
have a whole cellar of it.
I buy box wine and like $2 is my fancy. But
Yeah,
right,
can I
like,
interest you in can I interest you in some barefoot?
hey, that's the good stuff. But like those people, they buy wine and don't go, oh fuck, I'm not going to buy another because I got that other bottle and no, like you just have it there for when the time is right, right? When the stars align and it'll make you happy again, you yank that sucker back out.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Caro's family, they collect whiskeys, and it's pretty impressive.
And they
It's
don't
a good hobby to marry into.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
not buy whiskey just because they already got whiskey. No.
My father got Ashley and I a bottle of Yellowtail wine,
Classic.
the kangaroo shit. The year we got married,
Beautiful.
and we still have.
Man.
So it's like 10 years old now.
Oh,
That's well aged.
yeah, I actually didn't say this on the podcast before. Yeah, Caro and I got married a month ago.
Huzzah!
And she hasn't been on the podcast since. It's like when my uncle married my aunt. Before, when they were just dating and engaged, she would play paintball with us all the time. The second that ring was on her finger, never again.
Fuck them kids. Fuck them
no,
kids.
she
I ain't
said-
playing
She
paintball.
sell all her models.
She's telling me to pick a book for the next book club. I was like, all right.
Delightful.
Okay.
Delightful.
He's like, I'm not hanging out with your dumb friends anymore. But no, go back to this dilemma Alex is in here. I'm thrilled that you asked this question because I am actually going through a near identical crisis with a very different game system. I recently, over the summer, picked up the Warhammer Armies project, the dead fantasy square hammer type game, and got 2,500 points of Kizlev to play with, and have done maybe 7 or 8 games with them, and had extremely mixed success. And to give our listeners a little background here, to parallel Will and myself and Austin's kind of approach to armies, it's like 2 Nicks. Austin and I are more like Nick Offerman, married to the same gal from high school, sweethearts, and still very much in love. Will is like Nick Cannon and is impregnating a different army every 6 months and starting his own little sex cult.
That's not a great thing to be. I really wish we had this on
Are
video.
there other Nicks? Are there other Nicks I can be?
No. Those are the only 2 choices.
Nick.
Those are the only 2 Nicks I can think of at the moment.
Nick.
No,
Nick
Saint
Nick.
Nick, patron saint of prostitutes.
Yeah. The army
Is
frosted.
that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, son.
Yeah.
I want to be a Catholic now.
Welcome to the team.
Oh.
Just burn a heretic every
So,
6 months.
yeah,
It's a
I mean,
lot of parallels between 40K and Catholicism here.
To be fair,
But,
they based theirs on the Church of England, but it's all right.
Oh.
Getting back on track here
But let's be clear. The reason I don't play those armies and the reason I sell those armies is because I'm not playing them.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not playing them and they are already painted, I see no point in keeping them around. It's not because I don't like the armies or the game system. It's just that my joy from them has been taken. I am the vampire. I have
Jerry.
suckled its neck.
Apparently,
No, that, like I said, those were specifics. Those were specific games that I just flat out did not like.
So, Will, so from what I've seen, from what I've been listening to, all these opinions are valid. Will is not afraid to let something go that isn't that's sparking joy.
Right. Very much so. If this
And-
does not spark joy, it is in the fucking...
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
Whereas me, if it doesn't actively spark hatred, I'm terrified of that opportunity cost of losing out on not having it anymore. This is why I have a closet of hoarding.
But
and
here's
Will
my
has one
thing.
project at a time.
Here's my thing, though, right? Like with
Normal
your
being.
Kizlev army, are you enjoying it?
So that's actually something I was going to get into.
And if you're not enjoying it, then why do you continue to hurt yourself? Why do you do
Dark Souls.
this?
So okay, this is a good illustrative moment.
That laugh was a deflection. You can see that, Will.
yes,
my own-
yeah. He's like, can we not talk?
Shut the fuck
He's
up,
getting
Will.
back at me for the Nick Cannon joke.
It's just,
no.
it's just that's my thing, right? Like, I if I am not having fun, which is the purpose of this hobby,
Yeah.
then I am doing myself a disservice because I only have so much time on this
So
earth.
I will say, jumping in there, did you enjoy the hobby of building that army and creating that army and painting that army?
You're talking specifically about the ones I got rid of because I didn't like the gameplay?
Yeah, like that Vance.
No, I did not.
All right.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's an 0 for 3.
I did not like the list construct. I did not like the way the list constructions work. I did not like
So not only
the
did you
converting or
paint,
Fair.
not only did you paint a beautiful army, you didn't even like doing it, and you didn't like playing the game. I can see why you would like yeet that army. Sure.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be one quality of it that was going to be a redeeming factor, and there's not. There for me, there wasn't.
And I will say, for me, I haven't had that happen yet for an army system that I've bought. I haven't played Jared, my first game of several things. And,
Apparently, that's the
Maybe,
thing not
yeah.
to
apparently
do.
all it takes.
So to answer some of your questions here, Will, like the last 3 games of Warhammer Armies Project Fantasy I've played, I've gotten my ass thoroughly beat. I think 2 were against Jason. I think one was against you, Austin.
Yes.
And so to be completely frank and going into a bit of the weeds of mechanics of fantasy, which is totally different from 30 or 40K or anything I was familiar with going in. Warhammer Armies Project is fan made. So a lot of the rules and stuff they're coming up with is basically being made by a committee of people for good or ill. I think folks are well intentioned, but talking with Jason, I think he would say the same thing about this, and he's in DMs with a lot of these folks. So there are, I think, some issues with like some of the smaller factions not being as fleshed out as maybe they ought to be. So like Kizlev, most of their army does not get an armor save of any sort. Period.
Aren't they like
Well,
knights
they do, but
on horses
Not-
and bears?
Okay, let me. I'll
but not really.
go through it real quick for you. They're
But yes, for those of you wondering, because you didn't play any Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer Army Project took essentially all of the fluff armies as well as all of the actual things that were in 8th edition fantasy and made army lists for them.
so there's army list.
And there does seem to be, I wouldn't say a tiered system, but having also had a Dogs of War army, which was running off a 5th edition codex in 8th edition, what that's been done, like what they did to bring it into Warhammer Army Project, it certainly feels like it's missing some components as opposed to like my undead or
Fully fleshed
the
out.
lizard men that they said essentially just had to take that 8th edition army codex and tweak it a little to make it work in their new system rather than create something more or less out of whole cloth.
So like for just going through the Kizlev core unit choices, their main units. There's
Quick, because I don't know shit about.
Oh yeah. This is going to take 15 seconds.
Okay.
The Druzina, they're like light cavalry. They have a 6-up armor save. The Gospodar militia have no armor save. If you take shields, they have a 5-up against missiles and a 6-up and a 6-up parry save. So like
6-up invulnerable.
yeah, basically in melee. The Hawks of Miska, just flocks of birds. They have a 6-up invul save.
Look, you're a fucking bird. You better be glad of any armor.
yeah.
Let me take my
all we
armor.
need is
set.
I know.
Better
Bird
armor
shot.
than my bats get.
Continue on. Let's roast the rest of the army.
Kossars, no armor save, period. Ungol Horse Archers, no armor save, period. Winged Lancers, 4-up armor save. That's
ostensibly heavy cavalry. And remember,
You've got a cataphractic
medium.
invuln save. You're good.
fantasy is a game where your
No,
basic armor
that's not an
save.
invul. That's an armor save.
Yeah, and your basic armor save can be modified by the strength of an enemy weapon.
Exactly.
So anything above strength 3 is -1 to your armor save for every point it is above strength.
Don't read me these rules. I'm not going to
That's
remember.
just where it is.
If you get hit by a 6,
Point being,
doesn't-
your army doesn't have an armor save.
His army is a
Meanwhile-
glass. His army is a glass cannon.
yeah.
Okay.
His army is a glass cannon, and he
so-
plays the all cavalry version of that army.
More or less.
So the glacier cannon.
Yes, it is more cannon and extra glass.
less
I
Nick.
just want to say that seems very anti your play style.
It normally
does
is.
You are
play an
very
Imperial Fist
durable.
a lot.
You play Imperial Fists.
He should have
right?
got a
That
dwarf
is
army.
that is a core character trait of you. It's not
is.
just an army
It
you
is.
play. You are a durable person
Yeah, we've seen
in
your
real
YouTube
life.
video.
Like
yeah.
like all the armies you play, the space cops and all them, they are
Yeah.
all very sturdy folks. So
It's true.
I just wonder why you chose the glass cannon.
You know,
Were you aware they were glass cannon when you got them?
absolutely not.
Okay.
That was
Called research.
Yeah.
Let me
do you
Google
know
that for
how
you.
much research there is to do to figure out fantasy? It's a shit ton.
Yeah, I can only
Look, if you've
imagine.
been playing since 4th edition, it's really not that much.
Yeah. So to contrast for our listeners, maybe who don't know or aren't super familiar with fantasy, I've since getting the army have done a considerable amount of research on it, and like skeletons, the basic undead, raised from the dirt skeletons can get medium armor, which is a 5-up save, and shields, which gives you a 4-up in melee or a 3-up against missiles.
Right.
Skeletons.
We can theoretically get there. They are
Skeletons
expensive.
don't give a
That's
fuck.
a 7-point
Fucking
model.
skeletons,
8-point model.
bro.
It's
Good luck.
not that.
What are you going to do
Not
against
bad.
a skeleton? Are you going to hit a vital organ on a skeleton? Like,
yeah.
of course they're going to get armor saves.
But my point being,
No, my pancreas.
Oh, wait.
I'm
left
a
it at home.
fucking
It's the
skeleton.
phantom pain will get you every time.
and to give you some contrast, I've fought Austin's hordes of cheap expendable skeletons and
Once again, that fits right into Austin's plate. He is always horde daddy.
and
That's
blood
what
knights who are just
daddy.
A whore for hordes.
He's a horde. A horde.
A horde master.
get out of here, or
is
facing
so-
Jason who
he
has
is
like
more
1-up
let's-
armor saves.
Right, because he's dwarfs,
Yeah,
right?
he's chaos dwarfs.
Also, I just want to say one more slight at Austin is that he is more used to removing models from a table than he is putting them on. Because there are times where they are left in transports and those transports are nuked, and he's like, well, I don't even get to put them on. I guess I'll just take the whole transport off. It's a net loss, yet he still wins. And he wins fucking best theme at events and stuff like that.
Minor
so-
explosion. All dead.
Fuck them. They were goats.
They were Bothans, man. I sent Bothans to get my coffee once.
But yeah, so,
All dead.
so
All
this
dead.
feels okay. So maybe, perhaps,
But it's not your soul.
what I was doing in Necromunda is sort of the same thing here, where I thought I was getting into something good with Van Sar. Turns out they are not equivalent to my play style or how I usually play at all,
So
right?
to be fair, and this is something I still feel bad about. You told us, you wanted to get into enforcers, but you didn't want to offend me.
Right, because I didn't want to step on your PP. Right.
Step on it.
Okay.
I want you to
He
do that
likes
with
it.
stilettos.
I hope y'all are ready for medical. Okay, so I do want to get this out.
Moving along. moving just going to go straight through that. No.
Oh, we're all drinking tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
A bit.
I do want to talk about, if I was to ever do that, it would be the medical police, which are enforcers that will shoot
God, I
you
thought
and
it
then
was back
charge
stepping
you to apply medical aid to
Like
you.
the Roman fire department.
Yeah.
They
Be
will
a shame if
fucking-
your house continued
Well,
to burn
it
down.
was it was themed off of the medical dudes from Cyberpunk. In the Cyberpunk theme, there's the medical dudes who walk around with like ARs and fully automatic weapons, and they'll fucking shoot you. And if you don't carry their insurance, they won't provide medical attention to you.
Okay, that's
so you then
great.
have to on the spot while you're bleeding out buy their insurance plan.
Perfect scheme.
So
Swipe here. No,
Yeah.
it's a chip reader.
yeah, it's all covered in blood. I'm sorry, man. We'll get you next time.
Move it along, future boy.
Yeah. So that was the idea. I was like, oh, I'll just do that. Medical police. Yeah.
So, but what I'm doing with Kizlev is I've kind of taken a step back, looking at the list I've got, and I'm tweaking it a little bit.
Okay.
I took some units out that just have no armor save, that were basically just, formalities that were just getting removed anyways.
Right. The birds. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm taking a couple non-cavalry lists, so mixing it up. And I'm going to get right back at it.
Okay. So then I guess, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I guess. Would you then say to Alex that maybe try a more elite mech, like mech stompa, or maybe a vehicle orc vert? Like you can still play orcs, just put a spin on it. You don't have to do the boys and a wall all the time.
Good hard looking at codex and see is there anything that really appeals to your play style.
Exactly.
Right.
Because presumably something attracted him to orcs to begin.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's a goddamn good point.
Something
Austin.
attracted you to Kizlev, that made you foolish enough to bring a all cavalry army in a game where even the Bretonians don't bring all cavalry armies. Something sparked that joy.
Ice magic.
That is a good point. Maybe that is, so I would have to doing a little self-reflection or
soul searching.
So I guess, right. Vansar, for me, it was the models. I thought they were so out of 40K field. Like they did not look anything like they should be in 40K.
You've seen the new stuff too, right?
Yeah.
They're
just so far out there, but still somehow exist in this universe, right? So I think that was it for me.
Huh.
But then, I don't know.
But then Jared came and sat on your dick.
He said, guess what?
It was a bad time.
Like everybody else in this universe.
Didn't enjoy it. Now...
He sent packs of fucking dogs after me. He didn't even have the decency to send humans.
Yeah.
His humans were just like, go get them, boys. And these robot dogs tore me to shreds.
If it makes you feel any better, he attempted to charge my heavy cavalry, and I just spawned a unit of shit zombies in front of them.
Oh.
Which he then
Fucking
proceeded
road
to...
bump.
I spawned a road bump, which he then proceeded to charge anyway.
Yeah.
Annihilated them.
Headstrong.
Because he had like 30 knights in that bus.
20.
Yeah.
20 knights in that bus, and there were 10 zombies. Nobody gives a shit.
Nope.
And then I proceeded to teach him why Vampire Count Blood Knights are the best unit in the game.
They are.
I just raffle stomped him.
Yeah.
Just
Well, no, I got my revenge. It took a year and a half, but I got my revenge on
Good.
him in that Titanicus game.
He did. Big time.
It was my one moment against Jared.
Will drunken boxed me with a tight.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is he doing? Oh no.
Get back here, bitch.
Everybody was going to plan. Just,
No, that was definitely a good game. And I mean, all of our games are good. I never leave a game angry about having spent time with you.
Yeah.
I enjoy just being around you and hanging out. But it definitely isn't enjoyable when you just spent like 2 weeks building and painting models and everything goes. The game is just completely alien to you. And maybe I don't know. People are like, well, just give it more tries. Give the game more tries. No part of the game was like, oh, this is cool.
You need something that instantly grabs you.
to be fair,
Which is fair, right?
Your dice that day, specifically with the second Necromunda game we did, were so abysmal. They were so freakishly like unearthly bad.
You can only play with dice, but so much, Jared.
I'm serious.
that's
Like, when he
true.
shot me,
But I was killing myself
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
I was killing him. Because I was like, fuck it, I'll get hot. And I got hot. And
yeah, he took plasma guys.
I was like, you know what? Last game didn't go well because I brought las guns. I'm fucking Jared up this time. I'm bringing all plasmas and combi plasmas. Brought as many as I could fit in the list on as many people.
Boy.
Nuked myself.
Yeah. And even on the times that you hit me, it was like, oh, you rolled a 2 to wound and you needed a 3. So it was something.
Yeah.
You rapid fired and you needed 3s and it's a 2 and a 1.
Yeah.
It was so many horrible rolls. That it was like, what am I was like, oh, I'm going to give him this guy. Nope, I couldn't even give you that guy.
That was kind of like Mike and I's last kill team game.
Yeah.
Where I was playing heavy intercessors and he was playing his sisters. And you could see by turn 2, he was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, this is bad, man. Are you sure about this? And I was like, no, keep it. Come on, we're doing this. Like, I need to do this.
Here comes a Melta.
And by turn 3, I was fucking tabled. Like his 12 sisters, like just was like Melta, Melt. And then he's sitting there. He's like, okay, look. So you took these many wounds, and then this is a mortal wound, and it's a crit. And I was like, okay, so how much damage is it? And he's like, it's all of you. And I was like, okay.
I get to shoot
40
for real in
damage,
this
Will.
game.
It's all of you.
The mortal wound is actually applied to
They
yourself.
have melted.
Yeah. Melta feels
He just
dangerous and kills
He just
him.
passed a small dagger across the table. It's a mortal wound, Will.
Yeah. Hurt yourself now. Okay. But
Yeah.
when Mike does too good, you can tell in his eyes, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. This is not cool.
Yeah. I know this is not going to be fun for you.
Yeah. But no, I still have fun with Kill. That's another thing, like Kill Team, man.
Yeah.
That's a great game. That game hooked me immediately.
It is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And you don't have to really dive in to actually get a full game out.
Sure.
But Alex, also to fully confess, I am also getting an Empire army in fantasy, and probably going to do Lizardmen too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus!
Because
are they technically demons in
No.
WAP or
No.
That's Age of Sigmar.
that is complete Age of Sigmar nonsense.
Yeah.
WAP didn't do anything for the fluff.
It has leaned heavily against Age of Sigmar. I'm pretty sure.
It's all the old word fluff. Like they fleshed out.
There's a lot of Nick
They
Beards.
fleshed out Cathy a little bit just because nobody knows anything about fucking Cathay.
Yeah.
But they'll probably retcon some of their fluff for whatever Warhammer Total War 3 says about.
Yeah,
Sure. Or I guess whatever.
Yeah.
Or I guess when Old War returns,
Oldest war.
are they just gonna? That's a question.
I don't
when
know.
Old World returns, you guys hopping into that? Or you guys gonna stay on WAP?
Absolutely.
That's the thing is I'll have a
2 armies. I got.
Yeah, like it'll be square based. There's no reason not to at least give it a go, right? Like I might play it and realize, maybe this isn't for me.
You know, to be fair with fantasy now, there's and as the prevalence of particularly in our group 3D printing. I got Bo to
Criminals!
print I got Bo to print me like 90% of my Kizlev army for absurdly cheap. Like basically like my birthday money. It was like,
and what's even crazier now is it is so OOP for some of that stuff that you can't even find. I know we're going to say the evil word, the R word here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even find R worders who are going to remake those for you.
Yeah.
Because like their molds have even gone. You know what I mean? So thank God for 3D printing, or we'd still be fucking playing with brittle Lego pieces or something.
Honestly, just looking at
I got my Barbie pandas here. Yeah. We're gonna be my Kizlev bears.
I got some micro machines.
I was checking out like the Lizardmen or Seraphon, whatever you want to call them.
Lizardmen.
Yeah.
what I wanna
Lizardmen
call
isn't
them.
gender neutral, you son of a bitch.
Lizard folk.
Lizard folks.
Yes.
But
It's 2021.
yeah, I just Googled one unit that GW didn't have a model for, and popped up with like Lost Kingdom's full line of Lizardmen, which are like the most beautiful models you're ever going to see. That
Is Lost Kingdom like a third party manufacturer, or are they 3D printing?
Yeah, they make 3D printer models and files that you can Patreon to them. And I mean they are breathtakingly good, like freakishly, like holy shit, guys! Like you knock this out of the park.
Do they still maintain close to the aesthetic?
Yes, like
good.
per unit, like you can go through the entire Lizardman codex of, hey, this unit goes to this model, and it's just perfect. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to do that.
I don't mean to veer too far off. I know we got.
Oh, we're well off.
Yeah, we're
But
all over
so
the point.
I guess what is it? Let's round it back, right? Let's round out Alex's question. We have somebody who says, "Stick with it."
Jesse's not just here.
I
I
just want to recap the 3 opinions that we have here. Mine is, if it's not a hell, what did you say?
Spark Joy?
If it's not a hell, yeah.
If it's a hell yeah.
If it's not a hell yes, a hell no.
No. Or
Well, that's what I
that's what
said.
you
But
said.
you said something that was,
Sparking
I
joy.
don't know, rewind this podcast back
Yeah.
to where I said that.
and then insert it. Yeah. If it's not a hell, yeah, it's a hell no. That's my thing. Yours is learn to love it. You fucking made the commitment. So
yeah, like you can probably find a way to love it.
find joy in it.
Yeah, find.
And then
see if there's
Jared's
something else
is-
that'll bring you joy with it.
Twist it until you love it.
Reevaluate, look at tactics, look at, what's on.
And also a cautionary tale of doing a little research before you buy the entire goddamn army.
So now we
Make
come to the final view.
Yep. Well, you guys.
You've had a lot to think about, right?
Yeah, we're all sitting here in my basement.
Jesse's gonna dunk on it.
Full of fucking models from
of
all
fucking
over
models.
armies and games, and I wonder what his opinion's going to be.
Full of little bits and pieces, and little
Well, this
armies
is the
here
advice
and there.
you give, so it could be do as I say, not as I do.
You're right.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah, don't be like me. So when I started this, not to get into too much detail with Warhammer, I was trying to basically find some joy in my life at that point.
Yeah.
That being said, now I'm married to Carol. Now I'm married to Carol, and I haven't bought a single model since.
Yeah.
But that
Your hole has been filled.
Yeah.
Phrasing. I know. I'm sorry, guys.
But so here's the biggest thing for me is, one, I'm a very introverted person.
Yeah.
When I first started in Warhammer, I didn't know. Really, I wasn't friends with anybody who played
No,
Warhammer.
I think it took like 2 or 3 meetings before we started talking, and you would actually speak to me.
And that was getting to Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
I first picked up a box of 40K Dark Angel, or I picked up Dark Vengeance, and I was like, these guys look pretty cool. When the Dragon's Den was still open, it was like 15, 25% off. I was like, oh, this
like 30 years ago. Yeah.
God damn, yeah. And I picked up, it was a lot of, it was neat. The lore was cool. The Dark Angels seemed like, these guys are sick. Pretty sweet. And I just started collecting because, one, I was kind of afraid to meet people.
Sure.
It's true. I wouldn't want to meet the fucking nerds that show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afraid for other reasons. Just like, I was in a, anyway. Then I met you guys. And let's see. No, this is not going to be a good.
So wait,
I just started picking shit up.
Let me pause. Let me pause
you
this for a
talking about?
second.
Like-
let me pause this for a
Yeah,
second,
yeah.
Jesse. So you said you started getting models because you were kind of bad place, like wanting to find something that would give you joy.
Yeah.
You are now married to Caro.
Yeah.
And have bought no new models since then because presumably Caro brings you all of the joy.
I don't buy as much as I
should-
used to. That's for sure.
As should be. And yet when you met all of us, you just bought shit tons.
I think we might be bad
It was
influences.
it might have been.
That is completely confirmed.
Then I got real excited. I was like, oh shit, people I can hang out with and be friends, and like, let me buy everything and try all this shit out.
Yeah. And it's real bad when you have such, bad, I say, but it's actually kind of great. Because we have such a large community of people that somebody's always like, I want to try this game out. There's always going to be one other person who's like, let me try it. Let me jump in.
Probably going to be Mike DeBolt.
I was about to say, me?
So here's the funny thing. So yeah, my first game of Horus Heresy was you guys at Battlegrounds, and I had just finished up my my betrayal at Calth. I was like, yeah, here I am with my my infantry.
Yeah.
Came to the game. I think it was like a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3. Yeah. Everybody had armor.
Yeah. You're like,
What the fuck is a
why do
predator?
these armies look different? But
Bro, let me introduce you to Forge World.
And yeah, so then Will was running the Christmas game at Warhammer, I think, in Richmond, where I think it was
that was our first Christmas.
It was
game.
2,500 points, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And if y'all know me,
I think it was a maximum of 2,500 points per player.
yeah, I went deep.
Oh yeah.
I got 3 Predators, 3 Vindicators,
I'll never be
Oh,
on
that's
tank
right.
again.
Yeah.
3 Medusas.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit is awesome.
Fucking knuckles, like bare knuckle boxing, Jesse. After that,
Well, see, that's the thing. So, yeah, I've been doing a podcast for 4 years. This game, I suck at this game. I'm not like this pro gamer, guys. Let me get it real. No, I suck at this game.
we literally had a shirt that said, I don't know the rules. I just play the game. Yeah. So we're not
Lily.
That's
amazing at this.
Yeah, that's but it's like, what point was I trying to make?
Why do you have so much shit? If you're terrible at this.
So the basic thing is, going back. I don't like interacting with people, so I hate the process of haggling or selling stuff or getting rid of stuff.
Oh my God, your social anxiety is what's
My social anxiety. I have
protecting all these models.
I still have broken 40K Dark Angel bullshit just still sitting in a little box in my closet that I've moved 3 or 4 times since I've started this hobby.
Your children one day, should you have them, will be cleaning out dad stuff once he passes. They're like, what the fuck are these things?
Dad's dead. Going through the closet. What the fuck?
Why does everybody else's dad have porno mags and mine has old ass Dark Angels? What the fuck is this?
Broken bolter.
But
no, I feel that because I have the same way. I don't throw models out.
I don't. And I guess
I do want to make another point. I'm sorry to interject, okay? About you, though.
Yeah.
You have a display cabinet, and I think a lot of you guys who do keep your shit have methods to display them. I do not. So they go into their bags or their army cases, and they remain there and collect dust, and that is why I'm.
Well, they don't collect dust because they're in cases.
Yeah.
They do, because I keep the cases open.
Oh.
But I wonder if I got a display case, if that would solve some of this ADD.
I bet you it would.
It might, although I will say my foray into display cases has only been like the last year.
And you still have some of your classic stuff.
Oh, I have hordes of shit, man.
Yeah, you got like a museum in your house now. It's
so
pretty cool.
I've got displayed some of my super old stuff.
Yeah.
Including the best Space Marine I painted from the first army I ever did, which is not a good model.
But it's the best.
And yeah.
Just 8 coats.
So I'm sorry to interject and sideline, but I wonder if that is maybe another, aside from the points you're making, if being able to see things and enjoy things kind of makes you hold on to them.
It's, well, that, like, so I'll be honest, stuff you see in there is stuff I'm really happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Now take a look around this room. Look at all the shit
laying around
that's still just chilling out on tables. In the corners.
Will only sees painted bottles.
Yeah. It's but
Will doesn't see color.
No, literally, guys. I'm sorry.
No, but I saw the joke you made.
Yeah, but the listeners don't know. Most of them. Anyway, what was I fucking trying to make a point of?
You told him to not be like you.
Yeah, if you don't like it,
get social anxiety, so you don't want to interact with people.
No. He said don't be like him. So remove your social anxiety.
So sell all your shit.
Sell all your shit.
It's a clean slate. It's worse now because Kara's here too, and so her hobby adds to my hobby, and now it kind of congealed into a mix. You can see some of half her projects there and half of my projects there.
It's good. There's no you or her. There's just us.
It's true. It's
our hobby mess.
Our mess.
Yeah. So when Caro enters one of Jesse's tanks into a painting capital palette as her own, it's just, this is our tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Unfortunately, I still know exactly what shit is mine. Because I don't play Chaos.
Jesse's going to see his Predator in there, and he's going to be like, what the fuck? Who took that?
But thankfully, her hobby is a lot geared towards Chaos and demons and shit.
Yeah.
So, counteracts my stuff. Mm-hmm. It works well. She likes the dark meat of chicken. I like white meat, so we can finish a chicken.
Jack
That's awesome.
could eat no Loyalists. His wife could eat no Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just flip that, yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it.
We got your analogy.
We'll edit it to where it sounds right.
There's no editing that one.
Alex, I don't know. I think there was a point, though. If you got it in the first place, there was a reason that drew you to it. And so, also another point. I play Dark Angels, guys. No matter what I did. Now, there is one little group of Iron Warriors there, but because I needed a token Chaos army, token Traitor army, just on the sidelines.
But that is a fair point because I was the same way, right? Yeah. Like I have my Space Wolves and everything else has failed.
Yeah.
And I have gotten rid of those other Marine projects. Like I think I might still have some of the Black Shields because I only ever painted like 2 of those models.
Yeah, I think I've seen them.
Like they might be sitting around. No, they're not my display case. They're sitting in a box of shame somewhere.
And I can't explain it. Like I'll delve a little bit into a different project here and there. Like I bought Malagurst for because I wanted to try it. But for some reason, I can't explain why, but for some reason, other legions just don't spark the same joy as Dark Angels.
I've been
I'm the
trying to
exact same
shop
way.
for other legions. Yeah, when Austin was like, I can't do anything but space. Like, you guys keep wondering why I go back to Iron Hands. It's because my painting gets better than the previous iteration, and I don't want to have to strip models or repaint models or.
Will, we don't wonder why you keep going back to Iron Hands. You're an Iron Hands guy. We don't know why you keep insisting on leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like Jesse and I, we've accepted our fate. We're one Legion men, and that's the way the world is.
My
What
heart
are you
wants
doing?
my heart wants to roam, but it just can't.
You're a philanderer, but you keep coming back to her.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Iron Hands. I'll
Ditch
change
those
and be a
skanks.
better man.
Yeah, you're like a guy that keeps having
Those army
that has
thoughts.
an affair every couple of years.
Yeah.
That's married to the same woman for 60 years.
Yeah. Why does she put up with me?
I don't.
Well, because Iron Hands tend to lose their heads about these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Had to.
I think it would have been amazing if we'd gone the whole cast without having one of those, but I knew it was bound to happen sooner or
It
later.
would have been amazing in the sense that it would have been,
I think the Earth would have imploded
It's true.
had we talked about Iron Hands and nobody mentioned
with 2022
decapitation.
around the corner, I didn't want it to go
taking
down
any
like that.
chances
No
there.
chances.
I can't believe I walked through the minefield of talking about my Dark Angels and Karo's traitor armies, and no one said a goddamn fucking thing about Dark Angels being traitors. It's done. Y'all can't say
Oh,
it
you're
now
right.
this
You're right. You
episode.
cut us off.
Oh,
Yep,
Jesse,
you're good.
my sweet summer child.
We got like 5 minutes left here. Come on.
Ooh, baby girl. See, and this is what I really like. Okay, when I get little shits like this, like these patrol boxes that GW's now releasing, they are like cocaine to me.
Will's got some sprues. He's got
Indominus stuff, right? Bought from Steven. It's all like the Indominus elites because I already have intercessors and I just wanted to do some elites because I'd like to do. I saw the fucking what was that new Black Templar animation they're doing? They released.
I know what you're talking about. It's not out yet, but something Black Crusade or something like that.
something like the Crusade
Not
or
Black Crusade.
presumably not Black
I guess it wouldn't. Yeah,
it'll be in news. If you go to news, we'll see it.
making for great audio here.
Yeah. Okay, there you go, listeners. You can look there.
Altar of Wrath.
Okay. I saw the way those models, the 3D renders were done, and I was like, I could fucking paint that.
They do look really, really good.
So when I saw that Steven was getting rid of some models, I was like, yo, homie, let me check these out. Because I think I could definitely do something like that. Very grimdark Black Templars. And, Black Templars just got the release or whatever. But like I was saying, those boxes are so addicting because that's what I love. I love just painting up a small little force. You have an idea for a paint project. So you knock out a small force and afterwards you just sell it. And you use that money to buy things like more Titans for Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah.
Or other boxes, so. But yeah, I do sell a lot of armies. I've sold way more.
You cycle through it. But the neat thing is that I can respect you going through your armies and starting a new project. It's kind of just a system that you have.
Yeah.
And you paint beautiful armies that people are willing to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's my other problem. If I tried selling every army I had, the second I thought I was done with it, we'll give you like $20 in store credit.
Help me out here. Help me out. Is that bolter casing red?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go down to the plasma gun, the incinerator.
Also red. Yeah.
That's red?
It's a different shade
It's,
of red.
it's brighter red.
That's
It's
a bright red,
shinier
yeah.
red.
You're sure that's not green?
Positive.
100%.
Yeah, we weren't lying.
And the
with it.
bolt pistol, that's not
That's
all
bright.
green.
That's a bright red. That's a
Yeah,
dark
it's
red. Bright red.
green.
Dark red.
Green.
Buddy.
Will is colorblind, ladies and gentlemen. We've confirmed it. Scientifically confirming it.
Man's colorblind and paints beautiful armies. So
Yeah.
Okay. But like, why do you guys think I paint mostly metallic or black armies? With a single pop of color usually, which is actually like usually a red.
To fucking spite me.
No. Just can't see. I can't
Still
see.
prettier than 95% of the models I've ever painted.
God,
Look at
I can't wait to see this animation.
Yeah.
Altar of Wrath.
Boy, those guys.
Did they say who was doing it? Was this the Adeptus Astartes guy?
I don't think so.
Too bad. Because they look in scale with like his kind of take. I'm
Okay.
sorry, go ahead.
Alex, going back to the whole orc army thing, and there's something about my personality that got brought up earlier.
Yeah, sorry, Alex. I didn't have an answer for you.
We waited.
Yeah,
we even circled back and built it up. We're like, now here's our fourth answer.
Honey-dicked. You got honey-dicked.
I'm an 80-year-old man and in this younger body.
That is it. But you and Austin have made very clear points. Something must have sparked you to want to collect in the first place. Whatever that was, find it again.
Or try to find it again, right?
No, clutch onto it. Hold it until you die.
If you enjoyed the build and the paint, take a little more time to see, what you enjoy.
And if
about
you
it.
don't enjoy the build of the paint,
then
get something orky. And it doesn't have to be, because I know he mentioned in the thing, in the Discord, because I think I mentioned this to him of like, hey, when I'm in a funk about painting a thing, I try and find like the fluff to get me going. He's like, well, all the orc books in 40K suck. And he's not wrong, but
they're just Imperial books with an orc
there's been a
flavor.
couple from orc perspective
Have
now,
there?
and those apparently suck.
Because-
read 15 hours, it's amazing.
Blood of Ajax is an orc book, but told from the perspective of a Space Marine.
Yeah. It's not
So it's just a Space Marine book.
but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be from 40K,
yeah,
right? You can get that. You can get that feel elsewhere. And I mean,
Oh, that's true. Fantasy and stuff, right?
yeah, like you can find some fantasy stuff for orcs, or even something just completely unrelated to like the hobby side of it.
I would figure he would still want to utilize the orcs that he got.
No. I know, but drawing inspiration. If he's reading, if he's watching Lord of the Rings or something, and being like, those orcs are fucking cool. I want mine to be like that, where they're like black armored and fucking rusted and shit, and just.
So something about my personality that should probably temper your taking of any advice I would give is, you're joking about, I do enjoy, Dark Souls and ridiculously hard video games and things that make you suffer in order to enjoy them and be good at them. So if that's something that you're into, by all means. We were talking about what's the game, Warframe?
Yeah.
And I asked, is this gonna, make me want to kill myself out of despair? And Will said no, like a coward.
He should have seen his fucking face. He's like, then why would I waste my goddamn time on this?
I'm gonna buy a PS5 and play Elden Ring.
I've got it. All right. So we've given out kind of, I feel like generic advice, right?
All of it
Applicable
bad.
to anybody that has the same sort of problem.
Littered with anecdotes.
Yes. But I have a very specific answer for our boy, the Magos. When it comes to, hey, if you're looking for fluff to get you excited about orcs again, there's this book called Grunts. It's by Mary Gentle. And it's a fantasy novel about a group of orcs who stumble upon a dragon horde. And the curse of the dragon is that whatever in the horde you take, you get like the personality of the previous owners. But there's a dimensional portal that happened at some point, and an entire company of US Marines like got sucked in, and you don't like the Marines have no bearing on this book, but the Marines got sucked in, the dragon killed them, and when the orcs raid the dragon horde, they steal M16s. And the orcs, and it's obviously like a fantasy comedy thing, but it's very that orcness, right? Of like the Warhammer 40K universe.
Yeah.
And it's great because they're like, it starts off with like, oh, orcs and like they're this universe's version of like the Dark Lord Sauron, right? And then they find these and they're like, why the fuck is he so bad at like tactics and strategy? This is dumb. You guys are dumb. Other orcs are dumb. This is terrible.
Start polishing their boots and shit like that.
Yeah, like they suddenly are like marching in step and polishing boots and doing all sorts of oorah, devil dog, yut,
The
etc.
fucking orcs just we're taking this shit over. Okay.
It's funny as shit. So if you want orcs, if there's a part of your soul that wants these orcs to spark joy, but you can't really find that like fluff impetus, grunts, man. It's funny as shit.
Where do you dig this shit up?
There's a halfling prostitute that one of them marries. Like, it's a whole thing. It's all over the place. It is all over the place, man. It's a delight.
They blow their first paycheck on a Mustang.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I think
28% interest.
And if it's the mechanics that you're not really digging, again, yeah, you'd probably have to talk to smarter people than we are because we don't know anything about 9th edition orcs. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell you.
I don't think even Pat knows how 9th edition works.
I think, yeah, if you're just not you're talking about the low BS skill, and then the bad saves. I mean, that's just part of orcs. And unfortunately, maybe if you go onto an armor route and you're running a bunch of spearhead detachments rather than a battalion where you have to have like your core troops and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, your strats aren't working with it because, the tanks aren't core or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You may just in 8th edition not ever. Or I'm sorry, 9th edition, in the current 40K edition, I guess, until you guys get a new codex, you may never be happy with it,
Yeah.
So at least be happy with the hobby part.
Or lean into it and embrace it. I know it may not be what you normally play, but hell, sometimes give it a shot, give it a little change, and just revel in the fact that you're rolling 80 dice and not doing anything with it.
As someone who has played an ostensibly bad army, there is joy to be had even in the shittiest of lists, because sometimes you just you come out of the game and you just look across the table and you're just like, fuck, I'm not winning this game.
Yeah.
But you've been talking up that unit of heavy intercessors or whatever it is, the apple of your opponent's eye unit wise, and you just blow the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's enough.
I fucking love it when people do that to me. Like when I played at fucking Mike, I was like, hey, Mike, your sisters, they're cool. But I got this fucking chaplain. He does like 19 damage every turn. And he's like, okay, that's cool. Let's play. And then, we play and he fucking mind controls the chaplain and makes the chaplain kill his own squad. And I was like, yo, that was sick, dude. Sometimes you just have to find joy in the shitty things too. It wasn't shitty. It was absolutely genius on his part.
Yeah.
He's like, he fucking perfectly poised these piece of shit Bates little ladies out in front, and then the chaplain's like, I'm hungry for death. And he rides on in and he's like, I'm gonna murder my own men, and then just decapitates all 3 of the dudes that were with him. Amazing. So yeah, maybe you just find joy in the chaos of it, right? Like, you don't like the BS skill or the bad saves. Well, the only answer is more DACA and more boys on the floor to take up those shit saves, man. Just get hundreds of them. Just fill your troop slots with max boys. And then from there, you can add 1 or 2 flavor units. And nobody's going to be able to handle fucking 120 boys coming at them.
Clog those muzzles with orc spores.
Yeah. Especially now you guys are T5.
There is...
Things got to be better.
Wow,
right?
Are they really?
Yeah.
Shit.
And they got their own gun type now, too.
Playing high model count armies is like, our last doubles event, the last game, Steven and I were pretty beaten up on our opponents. But, by the end of it, I was running militia, Steven was running dreadnoughts, and our opponent was fairly new, and he didn't know to, put melt-a-bombs on your tax sergeant and, do basic stuff that, some more experienced players would take as a given.
Sure.
So it was a learning experience for him. But, I had I had like 80 mortals, just cultists, fighting.
You took the longest to set up. That's how many men you had.
Yes.
Like you literally had the most, if there was an award for most models on the table, would have gone to you twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Get good with horde armies, man. There's a strategy to it all.
Yeah. I don't know how the fuck Austin's done it for 10 years. That's how he's good. He doesn't even use movement tray, guys. I don't get how the fuck he throws these little goat boys around so quick, but somehow he does it.
I've been playing Imperial Guard since...
Has it been longer than 10 years? 15? You're only 24, so I don't know.
Turning 34 in a week, and I think it's been Yeah, I was 13 when I started the hobby.
Jeez.
I think I was 14.
21 years.
I think I was 14 when I picked up my guard army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get fast fingers at a certain point.
Yeah, there comes a point where it's, man, we're going all
They're
in.
getting shaky, but they're still fast.
Yeah, unlike me, if I have to move a mech model, I'm fucking irate the rest of the day. Fortress up, baby. No need to move a single model. Yo, for real, who was that?
Jesus, Web, that is 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
We're old, dude. I think Jesse might be the youngest one, which is crazy.
This is as much a
32.
mind fuck as when we decided my kid would graduate high school in 2040.
Quick, when
When did
I'm looking when Dark Vengeance came out.
when does that movie, the Warhammer 40K movie with the guy from Jurassic Park?
Ultramarines with
Nope, the guy from Jurassic Park. It is when humans learn how to use the warp.
Event Horizon.
Sam Neill.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Event Horizon. When does that take place? 2052 or something? 2058?
We'll have to watch it again.
Which is crazy to think that they fucking, in the 90s, they really thought we'd be traveling to Neptune using the warp by the 60s.
The 90s were an optimistic time.
They didn't have social media back then.
No.
Yeah.
God damn, I wonder if
Set
social
in
media...
2047.
20, fuck.
Woo!
So I wonder, you know how you see memes where they're like, Earth if Christianity wasn't invented, right? And it'll be like a futuristic planet. I wonder if our children are going to be like, Earth if social media wasn't invented.
I think I've already seen that.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? God damn it!
I mean, there's definitely Earth if like Harambe hadn't been shot. It's,
Yes, that's
yeah.
utopia. We know
Utopia.
that's a
And
fact.
Yeah.
It was,
I didn't know Disney named some stuff after Harambe.
God bless him.
after Harambe, or
What did they
No,
make?
It's
at the
probably
zoo.
their excuse to like copyright him or something.
That's probably true.
got to get that Harambe books.
The mouse
Yeah.
needs his muns.
Dark Vengeance came out in 2012, so that's
It
when
was
I picked
around
up-
for a long time, too.
Yeah.
A long time.
I feel like I picked it up fairly early into its inception. So I was 22 then. So yeah, it's been 10 years.
One thing I do want to... Yeah. Yay. I'm trying to remember. When did I get in? I think 2013?
13? Yeah.
2014? When Ash was like, get off the fucking computer and go make real friends.
I think we both like within a couple weeks of each other started to go into Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was 2013. Because I like...
Well, here's the thing also. 40K or 30K wasn't our first game together.
No.
I mean, we both learned 30K together, but our first game together was not Necrons. That was Robbie. Robbie was the one who played Necrons.
Yeah.
I was playing Tau, and I can't remember what you were playing. I think you...
had like an Inquisition army because I really liked Blanche. So I just made like 50 Inquisition models.
Oh.
And then like a bunch of Space Marine models. I just brought like random stuff to the store,
Yeah.
and that was kind of what I would roll with.
That was exactly it. Like you were doing open play before open play was like
Yeah,
we were like not looking at alliance charts or anything. We were just like, as long as you have a troop and a HQ, you play whatever you want, man. And we were just I was like running fucking Space Marine with Tau. And then like an actual dude who was a competitive player came in and was like, you want a pug? And then I set my army up. He's like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, these are the models I own. And he's like, I gotta go. I can't be around you. He's like, you Dragon's Den people are weird. And I was like, oh, is it fucking weird to just play with what you like? But
Yes.
And now
when I
here he is with like, well, your armor mark isn't the right decade for this
Listen here.
special battle of 30K.
This is era-specific only armor. Get your shitty Mark 7 out of here.
Your Space Marine must be this short to play this game.
I don't want your tall fucking beef boys near my little gorilla men, okay?
Got some bad news about those new Imperial Fist Praetors, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in person yet. Those things look like monsters.
Beefcakes.
Woo!
Yeah.
The Terminator more than the normal Power Armor Praetor. He's pretty normal, but the Terminator.
Can't wait to see these plastic Mark 6 and see what the fuck I'm going to do with all these guys in the display case.
Just chop all their thighs, add in a millimeter of putty in each thigh.
Yeah, because
There you
I
go.
got that type of time.
Yeah, you do.
If you love the hobby, you do. Quit being, man.
Quit being a bitch, Jesse. Is that what you're
Yeah,
going to say?
I was gonna say that, but this is your place, and I wanted to get kicked out. Okay, so
Folks, thanks again for another. Not thank you. Thank us for another episode of Remembrancers Retreat.
thank us, you pieces of shit.
Jesus
If
Christ.
I log on to Facebook and don't see a bunch of thank yous to
Very
Jesse,
specifically to this episode.
Thanks.
We would like thanks for our service, actually.
Folks, thanks for folks. Thanks for listening to another episode of the this podcast.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Remembrancers Retreat. I'm Austin.
I'm William.
I'm not ready to close yet. I got to thank all our
God
patrons and
Play that pre-recorded thank you.
I don't. Do I still have
It's
that?
going to be wrong.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to
million new people. Now.
I've got like 8 different buttons here. Folks, thanks again for listening to the Remembrancers Retreat, a Warhammer 30K Horus Heresy and Specialist Games podcast. If you like us, you can follow us at Facebook and Instagram at RR30K Podcast. You can go to rr30k.com. That's where you'll find the Horus Heresy, Battlefleet Heresy shit compendium.
It's not a
It's
shit
not just a
compendium.
shit compendium. It's Austin and Stephen's
I'm
love
so
child.
hurt.
Austin Stevens' love child. Over 300 goddamn pages of homebrew shit for playing Age of Darkness.
You know it is.
In the Battlefleet Gothic universe. It's nuts. It's crazy. RR30k.com. Battlefleet Heresy Compendium. If for some reason you're still here after over an hour and 15 minutes, maybe consider becoming a Patreon member. Go over to patreon.com/RR30K podcast. Pick a tier. And right now, as always, we would love to thank all of our patrons, starting with our Praetor tier, Alex Self, who is also, again, the man who believed in us.
Yeah.
Yep, Alex Self, Chap Lanisar, Chris Mack, Jacob Dillon, Garner Duttree of Woe, Joe from Music City Heresy, Luke Rizzuto, Matthew Boyce, Michael Tisdale, Mr. Baldwick, Nick Quenga, Sar Luther, Taco Tuesday or Bus 22 Rock and Roll McDonald's, and What's Ligma?
My balls.
Woo! Our Legion Centurions, Aaron Maynard, Andrew N., Angry Boy, Dave Jones, Duncan, Ed, John Christensen, M. Tanzer, Gorkrow, Rena the Floof, Scott LeMay. God damn, it gets me every time. Scott LeMay. Our Legion Sergeants, Agrippina, Emily O'Hare, Garrett Lowe, Jay DeSales, Jay Grammaticus, M. Sear, Nick Gillen, The Zoy, and what do I call myself?
Christmas pancakes.
Y'all are all crazy. Thank you so much for backing this podcast. We greatly appreciate it. And
Kill for the living.
kill for the dead.
For the dead.
Thank you.
God damn, was that our sign off for like our first episode?
I don't think so. It
No.
should have been.
It was just a
That
thing.
would have been good. That was just something I yelled at Nova one year, and everybody intrinsically was like,
Yeah.
just yelled,
Well,
"Kill for the
we all
living!"
did it.
And everybody was like, "Kill for the dead!" And I was like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Have we discussed, like, on an episode how, Jason and Megan made me that onesie that we opened up at the baby shower
baby
for
shower.
Henry?
Oh,
And
no.
it was
What was it?
Kill for the living, kill for the dead.
With the
Onesie.
with a Luna Wolf symbol.
This
This told
was,
me you took that to his baptism.
And for our listeners at home, this happened at a church, and there was this unanimous shouts of like, that's cool from like all my Warhammer friends, and
Guys
these like
on one half of the side.
horrified gasps from all the other women at this event. We're just
Ashley leaned in. She's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
it was
Like, it's from a book. It's from a book. It's from a book.
legitimately one of the funniest things.
It's fine. It's literature.
Classic literature.
It took like 5 minutes of explaining this.
Yeah, I remember you're sitting up there and you're like mumbling, and it's from a game me and my buddies play. It's in a
I'm a
book.
grown man who plays with tiny plastic toys. If you all must know.
There's a little war gamer.
We have a slogan about killing people.
That's not even the worst one.
Not even close.
Oh God.
Thank you very much, listeners. I mean, 4 years. I know I haven't been on recently, life and shit.
It's good to have you here now.
But I always enjoy coming on, and I do just love hanging out and talking with my friends and making a whole bunch of new friends. I mean, a lot of you guys are definitely have helped me with events or ideas or rules ideas. I mean, everything. You guys all pitch in, and it's an awesome community we got here. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, you about summed it up for me.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah,
Cool.
no, you nailed it. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah, people who listen to this podcast are real awesome people.
Sweet dreams. Okay, bye-bye now.
And having kissed the homies, good night.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Will.
I'm Austin.
I guess I'm Jared.
No. Damn.
Keep those dice rolling. We'll see you for another 4 years. Bye for now.
Bye.